What's up, nerds? My name is Jeremy Nathaniel Akers, and I want to talk to you about my absolute favorite liberating structure of all time. That's this guy, Appreciative Interviews. Appreciative Interviews is what we call the ultimate first date structure. I know a lot of people think about liberating structures from the context of like professional and collaborative and participatory and work type stuff generally. But this structure, above and beyond all other liberating structures, will prime you to have the best first date of your absolute life. Why is that? Well, let's talk about how it works. So, where to start? How about this is the motherfucking vibe, y'all. That's the point when it comes to appreciative interviews. You're gonna pull these out whenever you want to point to this vibe, whatever this vibe is. You wanna be the finger pointing at the moon. Appreciative interviews is the finger, and people will tell you what the moon is, right? And we want to point out the vibe because these are signals of success here that we want to collect and gather. And so we use appreciative interviews to lean into this methodology or approach that is narrative based inquiry. Very fancy way of saying we're going to ask questions and tell stories. Good vibes generally a good vibe. So how do we do it? First off the bat, we want to set the stage, describe the steps, specify the theme or topic or subject matter. Like this is going to be the essence of your invitation. What is your story about? I will encourage you to make your story about a time that went approximately equivalent or like you want this time to go. So I sort of butchered that. Tell a story about a time that went like you want this time to go. So whatever we're trying to get accomplished here and now, like tell me a story about something that went similar. And again, that's why I say it's the perfect first date strategy or structure. Excuse me, let's not be strategic about first dates. We would never do that, would we? So think about it. You're on your first date. Tell me about your best first date you've ever been on. I mean, like who was it with? Where did you go? What'd you do? What was it about? What made it such a fantastic first date? If I tell you my story and you tell me your story, and we look at the things that are especially at the intersection of these two stories, then and we do those things, we might just have ourselves the best first date you could possibly imagine. And so as we do this, typically in pairs for about 10 minutes or 5 minutes per person, we want to treat it like it is an interview, right? That's why it's called appreciative interviews. And I don't mean like a job interview. Don't be an ass. I mean more like you're curious, like you're an investigative journalist. I mean, maybe not an maybe that's not it, but treat it like that's someone who you look up to and you are super curious about, right? And so, just a couple questions are going to get you a whole lot of mileage. Anything else? Anything else is an amazing question. What happened next? Amazing question. Very simple. Doesn't require like any skill to throw out some anything else's and some what happened next. If you want to be the real badass boss man, if you're gonna especially gonna do this on a first date, throw out what was that like for you? What was that like for you? What was that? Oh man. Oh, what was it like when that happened? Ooh. And as you're telling and you're listening to stories, pay close attention and maybe take some notes as well to what made success possible in your partner's story. So I apologize. That's 10 minutes per person. So take some time, share your story one on one, right? After we've done that, after you've told your story, I've told my story, then we're going to flip the script up a little bit. We're going to double date, pair up with another pair, and I am going to tell your story to the new pair, and you are going to tell my story to the new pair. As we do that, we want to listen and once more take note of patterns. What are things that exist at the intersection of all of these stories? And also keep a sharp eye out for the conditions, assets, or behaviors that supported the success, right? Success is not just about what we do, it's also about, hey, what's going on around us that helps us out? What were the things that we had when we started that made it easy? And of course, what did we do that supported success? So in 15 minutes in this group of four, everybody tells somebody else's story and vibe the vibe. See what you guys notice or what you nerds notice everybody has in common. After we've done that in smaller groups, we're going to increase our scale and we're going to take 15 minutes to go around in the circle in the all space. And we're just going to sort of really less the content of the story itself, but we're going to collect especially the insights and patterns that we saw across many stories. And then we're going to do basically the 1, 2, 4 all thing, just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, however many minutes you want, but take some time to think about, hey, how are we investing in the assets, conditions that foster success? Are we spending enough time on the stuff that we all identified was good stuff, led to good outcomes? It's a spicy question. Maybe the answer is no, But also don't think of it so much from are we or are we not. Think about how are we, right? Think about the features, qualities, and contours of the ways in which we're investing energy in towards those things. And of course, as we're exploring this, keep a sharp eye out and focus your attention on what opportunities do you see. So if these are the good patterns, and this is what we're doing, what opportunities exist to invest more into the assets, conditions that foster success? Gather all this stuff together, put it on a flip chart, share a doc, blah, blah, blah. I like index cards, sticky wall index cards, do what you want, live your own life. The point is, in about an hour, you will have leaned way into the vibe that you most definitely want to vibe into. You will have found some fresh signals and maybe some reinvigorated some old signals for success. And you will have played this game of narrative inquiry through appreciative interviews. My name is Jeremy Nathaniel Akers. Like I said, appreciative interviews, best first date ever. If you use this and you have a great first date, let me know. Leave a comment. Some shit like that. Thanks for your time, attention, and energy. I'll see you around, nerds. Kisses.